covered the first 3 chapters, and the last chapter we have stopped in the context of conducting an external factor analysis. So in this chapter we are going to discuss on the other part of the SWOT. Kita tahu there are 4 elements in the SWOT, and opportunities and threats are part of the external environment. But in this topic, kita akan discuss specifically on the internal assessments, in which we are referring to the strengths and weaknesses of the organization, and at the same time we are referring at the factors which are controllable within the context of the organization, something that you can put your hands on and make it better, change it, replace it, improve it, and you can see the difference. So those are the controllable factors. This is just some statement saying that how important it is the internal element of the organization. So now we need to have a different mindset. If before this we believe that external factors are much more important, and we need to put that belief aside, and we start to focus on developing a new mindset, which is saying that yes, in order for organizations to be successful, to develop its own competitive advantage, they need to have their strong internal elements within the organization. These are some of the chapter objectives that we are going to cover today, insyaAllah. This is one of the questions yang pernah keluar. Kalau kita tengok, if you look at the textbook figure 4.2, one time they asked the students about this. Weaknesses leads to strength, strength leads to distinctive competency, and leads to competitive advantage. They asked the students to explain for 10 marks, or if I'm not mistaken, for 5 marks. But what we are saying here is that in order for you to develop a competitive advantage, it must come from a distinctive competency, something that you are really, really good at, something that you can do it efficiently, something that you can do it without no mistake, something that you can do it with zero accidents, something that you can do it perfectly. So if you have that kind of skill, that skill can be developed as part of your competitive advantage. And how can you have that distinctive competency? It should come from your strengths. And sometimes this strength that you develop comes from your weaknesses that you are trying to improve from time to time. Thus, from the weakness, you can turn into a strength. The strength you can develop into a distinctive competency, and distinctive competency is a source for you to develop sustainable competitive advantage. And distinctive competency is a firm strength that cannot be easily matched or imitated by competitors. It could come from any form. It could come in terms of your building, like the KBM. This is our distinctive competency. Kita punya smart classroom, 24 hours room, Leto cafe, kita punya cafeteria yang quite advanced, hipster. So those are something that cannot be matched easily by the imitators. They can match, but they need to have the time and also money. And another element, distinctive competency that cannot be matched, we are talking about Johara, and the element of Johan dalam Johara. And they try to bring in Sepatu dalam Sinar FM, but up until now, for the past 5 years, 6 years, Johara is still the #1 radio channel among listeners of the radios. Dia bawa lah Sepatu dan sebagainya pun still cannot outbeat or outrun Johara. So building competitive advantage involves taking advantage of distinctive competency. So the process of performing an internal audit, dia sama macam proses of performing external audit. It requires gathering, assimilation of information, provides more opportunities for participants to understand how their jobs, departments, division fit into the whole organization, and then involvement. You require involvement from all managers from all areas, and then this knowledge of this relationship is critical for establishing objective dan juga strategi lah. So those are the internal process lebih kurang sama. Gather information, and then discuss, and then disseminate information, get everybody involved. So those are the process of conducting internal audit. Remember what we talked about remember that we talked about resource-based view. I mentioned this concept before. This is the opposite theory towards industrial organizational view. Which we call as the resource-based view. Apa yang dia cakap is totally different daripada internal organizational view. Resource-based view contends that internal resources are more important for a firm than external factors in achieving and sustaining competitive advantage. Meaning to say that the believers of resource-based view approach believe that, contends that in order for organizations to develop sustainable competitive advantage, it should come from the internal elements of the organization. The proponents of RBV contend that organizational performance will be primarily determined by internal resources that can be grouped into three all-encompassing categories: physical, human, and organizational resources. Meaning that there are three types of resources. For any organization, kita memang akan ada these three types of resources. It should either come from organizational resources, it should either come from human resources, ataupun physical. Physical, like a building, like Sunway Lagoon, the physical part. Like Lost World of Tambun, all the rights yang berbeza. So that is the physical part. And then human resources like Johara, like the CEO, like someone who is very special in that organization, who can develop the system that no one else can. So that is human resources. And finally, organizational resources, that could come from your resources, macam Coffee Bean or Starbucks, they own the whole farm in Panama. That is what we mean by organizational resources. You can ask for the resources at any time you want because you own the farm. So that is the type of resources that you have. And then, another important element dalam RBV theory is that, number one, kita ada tiga elemen yang penting that you should know about the RBV. Yang pertama sekali, RBV contends that internal resources are much more important towards developing sustainable competitive advantage. Yang kedua, RBV theory says that there are three forms of resources: physical, organizational, and human resources. Dan point yang ketiga saying that in order for the resource to be valuable, it must be rare. Number one, it must be rare. Yang kedua, hard to imitate and not easily substitutable. Kalau sesuatu benda tu tak rare, then everybody else can do it. So there is no way that you can develop it as a competitive advantage. Kalau benda tu senang nak ditiru, orang lain pun boleh buat benda yang sama. Dan kalau benda tu boleh ditukar ganti dengan perkara yang lain, yang itu pun orang boleh tiru. Kita ambil contoh cendol kampung dulu. Cendol kampung dulu, number one, yes, it is very very rare. Sebab apa dia very very rare? Sebab orang lain punya cendol semua shaved ice, tapi dia frozen santan. So very very rare. Is it hard to imitate? Yes, it is hard to imitate if they patent the product. Kalau dia copyrightkan, meaning that no one else can develop or copycat dia punya produk. And then, is it not easily substitutable? Saya rasa yes. Sebab they are the only cendol punya place kalau dekat Melaka, di Kampung Ulu ni, yang duduk tepi sungai, dia punya environment macam dekat Italy sikit, macam dekat London sikit, kan, ada bot-bot lalu, and then sambil makan cendol, And then no, the experience is different. You can have a substitute, but you cannot have the experience. So if you can develop this type of elements into your resources, and then in terms of your weaknesses that you turn into strength, then you can develop that element as part of your distinctive competency, which will lead you to develop a sustainable competitive advantage. So I stop for now, and then we will continue with the next lecture. Thank you.